Cristiano Ronaldo's open criticism of Manchester United during an interview with Piers Morgan is interpreted as an attempt to leave the club known as the Red Devils immediately. This is how most players behave. Robbie Savage wrote 11 dirty tricks that players can use to force a move 9 years ago. Because everything was a personal experience, the former Welsh player did not make up stories. For those who are unfamiliar with him, Savage was a Premier League player in the 1990s and early 2000s. He has defended clubs ranging from Leicester City to Birmingham City to Blackburn Rovers to Derby County. The man, who is now a BBC pundit, is known as an aggressive midfielder who received 89 yellow cards during his career in English football's highest caste. He is mischievous not only on the field but also off it. Here are 11 of his tricks, as summarised in an August 2013 column for the BBC. These actions can have a negative impact on the club, particularly if you are a star. While still playing, Savage admitted to doing it several times. It will be difficult to control his emotions while he is sulking. If you are a person who is easygoing, outgoing, and jovial, but suddenly you don't want to talk to anyone, the people around you sense that something is wrong. Savage accomplished this by focusing on training, but he then walked home without further ado. There is no chit-chat with teammates, let alone sharing lunch. This is the most common way for players to express their displeasure, according to Savage. He admits to witnessing many strange injuries during his lifetime. It's just that lying about injuries is difficult, and players are usually examined right away. There's no need to pretend to limp or act strange to outwit someone. Enough said, I felt uneasy in certain areas of my leg. Do you have any journalist contacts? You can call them and ask them to fabricate a story for you or put you in touch with Club A or Club B. This is difficult because the media knows what is a rumor and what is true. Aside from that, you must be realistic. Don't just ask to be associated with any club. You must also know yourself. Savage did not request to be gossiped about with Real Madrid. He believes it must have been caught lying. While in Birmingham, Savage once invited TV reporters to the training grounds while the other players were away. He had trained alone that day, giving the impression that he was being punished for doing so. The hope is that rifts with players will put pressure on managers, allowing transfer efforts to be realised. Although the news was broadcast that night, Savage failed. The manager realised it was all a ruse on his part. There are several options, but Savage chose to meet or call the club's owner or president directly and express his desire to leave. The manager was informed, and he was confronted the following day. That's something Savage has done at least twice in his career. This is quite extreme, and you may experience black and blue flashes. However, this can lead to disagreements in the locker room. Finally, one is sacrificed for the greater good of the team. When Savage admitted to being strangled by a teammate, he retaliated by goring his opponent in the face. This can be performed in front of physiotherapists, assistant coaches, and canteen employees. One thing is certain: the complaint must be heard by someone who has direct contact with the coach. Savage once boasted in the locker room he wanted to switch clubs, claiming that a deal was nearing completion and that he could switch clubs the following week. The coach immediately called him the next day. Inappropriate behavior in the locker room or during training can grate on your nerves and annoy your teammates. From there, the player can develop an evil reputation that coaches find difficult to ignore. Even if it does not, it can make the dressing room environment unpleasant. There is no need to give your all on the field. The coach will then know that the player is not serious about giving his best effort. Savage had done it before, but he wasn't pleased with himself this time. He believes that appearing lazy can harm a player's image, not only in the eyes of the coach but also in the eyes of teammates and supportive families. This can be accomplished by speaking with players from the club you wish to join. The time is free, but one of the easier ones is when defending the national team during the international break. The wish can then be communicated to the club coach you want to join. If everything goes well, the transfer attempt can begin. Ronaldo chose to conduct an interview to express his disdain for Manchester United. Is this a hint that he won't be at Old Trafford in January?